Good morning folks, Alex here from Amplify Trading. Taking a look at this cable first, after this sort of Brexit leg lower that we had last week and the week before. Daily stochastic moved into oversold territory. We're just sort of bouncing here, a little bit of profit taken. I think that this Brexit trade is still on. I think that the risk of a no-deal Brexit now is higher than it was back in 2019. If you remember back in 2019, sort of in the June, price was a lot lower, around sort of hitting that 125 area, and then moved even lower than that. So I think that, you know, much like this trend here, we do see these retracements which end up finding resistance, and so looking to reload on the Brexit trade, waiting for a bounce up into these key areas marked here. It's quite a big area along this sort of area, just around that sort of 29.77 to the 130 mark. We've also got the Fib 382 just above near 130.50, and so just waiting really. I did have some longs on here, just playing a little bounce, but wait to see where price finds resistance up here, and then the strategy would just be, of course, intraday to sell rallies all the way down, just selling these rallies, and so I'd wait for price to sort of find resistance, break, and then sell rally. So that trade's not quite ready yet, but that's my sort of main focus probably over the next few weeks up until the end of October, of course, or mid-October, should there be a deal. But over the next few weeks, this is going to be my main focus, and of course we wouldn't want to leave out the euro pound as the cleanest way to play this trade, which doesn't involve the US dollar. I'm just going to tidy this chart up a touch. Had this giant rally up towards the 93 handle, are just coming off now. Price is in that overbought territory on the daily chart. We're just coming back into this area of resistance, which is the July high, which I think also lines up with that Fib 382, could be an interesting level to look for support. There's also quite a cool area in here as well, which would be that 90-70 mark. A little bit of a deeper retracement in here, but again, so the strategy would of course just be waiting for price to find support on one of these levels and then buying dips in the uptrend. And again, this trade's probably not ready yet, but over the next couple of weeks I think this is going to be a big theme here. Bearing in mind, of course, we have got the Fed later to watch out for those dollar pairs, but this is, I think for the Fed to continue to be super dovish, the bar's getting increasingly high and the dollar's increasingly weak. So maybe if the dollar can stay, just looking at the Dixie, if the Dixie can stay somewhat range bound in this area, that's definitely going to help the cable short. So as long as we don't see massive downside in the dollar here, cable could be a good short. Dollar index just holding this trend line resistance here, but we are in this range between sort of 92 and 94, and so any sort of move back up above this trend line might just cause a little bit of a rally up towards 94, but that is against the trend. Just want to quickly move over to gold, which holding this support really super nice around that sort of 1920 area with 19 handle just below. Big trend line, price has been grinding on the trend line. We've actually broken through trend line resistance, come back for the classic, and that has held as support. So on the intraday, bullish bias, buying dips in the trend, worked super nice yesterday, buying up this trend line. So if there was any sort of weakness here, we'd be looking at support levels to get long this market. It's a really nice level here actually, which already held, didn't it? What other levels have we got here? It's a nice area here around 1970. You've also got the daily pivot. Any weakness here would definitely be buying that back up towards the 1980 mark, back up towards that 2000, up towards this high here, September. Running out of time here, just want to quickly look at the equity market, which held this level, giant area of resistance, come back, test support, and now I'd be buying dips in the trend back up towards this all-time high now, I think, on the intraday. I have run out of time, but yeah, looking to buy the pivot, maybe a breakout, yesterday's high, come back for the retest. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. If there's any questions, ask in the chat. Otherwise, have a nice trading day.